So when you wake up after surgery and you realize that your body has changed forever, it's natural to ask, why me? That's the question that hits you kind of like a wave, really. That's how it hit me. I didn't wake up from emergency surgery. I kind of knew it was happening. It was on the horizon. I did a lot of research leading into it. So I kind of knew what was happening on the way to my surgery. But there's many of you who wake up and it's a shocker. And it's not just once. Once you're done with the surgery, that question of why me hits you again. When you see the bag of the mirror, when you get nervous, when you're having to use the restroom, or when you go out, or if someone asks you about it, so many of us get stuck there in that head. Why me? We replay the anger. We replay the fear and the shame. I think some of us think that we're broken or that we're never going to feel normal again. And here's the thing. Nobody hands us a manual for this. No one, nurses teach you how to do it out of the surgery, out of the hospital, but no one hands you a manual of how to work on it mentally. The doctors talk about healing your body. They talk about what the surgery did for you to be alive, but the emotional healing, the emotional between the ears, that's kind of on us. So it's too often we try to power through it alone. I know I did for a while. In fact, it took me a while to really go public with all of this, but that's why I'm making this video, because I think a lot of you are in the same boat that I was. And just know that what you're feeling is real, but it's also something we can learn to work through together. And that's what we'll get into right now, is the 5 mindset shifts that I had to learn, and you can too. So what I'm about to share with you, they're not just theories, they're mindset shifts. They helped me, especially that 5th one. That 5th one really helped me when times got tough. So I'm just gonna get into it right now and start with the first one. Shift number 1 is you gotta let yourself grieve. A lot of us try to tough it out. Losing part of your body is kind of a real loss, so it's okay to grieve. In fact, it's healthy. I used to feel a lot of guilt for feeling sad or feeling kind of bummed about it. Like I should be grateful for what this did for me, right? But, until I gave myself permission to grieve, it was kind of an uphill battle. I was always constantly feeling sorry for myself and, just kept focusing on the negative, focusing on everything that I had gone through, but not in a positive way. More of like that, why me, right? So the first thing to do is to accept it, and also to accept the grieving process of it. And I found that when I started allowing myself to be sad about it, but with the purpose of getting to the next step, that helped me a lot. Mindset shift number 2 is that your stoma doesn't define you. Now, for a while, that's all you think about, obviously. I thought that the bag was the number one thing that everybody sees when I walk around town. I thought that would be the first thing that people would notice about me. I would become that bag guy, or whatever negative connotations you can kind of get from that. I was worried about what everyone else thought of me, but I wasn't worried about what I thought of me. And to be honest, people walk around in their normal days. They're too busy worrying about themselves. They're not worried about you. So I realized that I was treating people a little differently because I was worried about what I was going through. So when I started to believe in myself, when I started to kind of understand the process and understand that, no, I'm not the top of everyone's mind, that definitely helped shift my mindset a little bit. You had to come to the realization that it wasn't the one thing that defined me. The stoma defines my life. It saved my life. But in the end, the stoma doesn't define me. I define me. My journey defines me. Me, the person, defines me. And I allowed myself to kind of get over that connotation that, almost like the world revolved around me, but it didn't. You go from cancer, where everyone's taking care of you, everyone's treating you, and everybody's focused on making sure you get better through surgery, through chemo and stuff. And when that all goes away, suddenly you're not kind of like the main character in your story again. So, and that kind of carries over into when you have your stoma. You think that everybody knows, everybody's going to notice. No, in fact, when you wear your stealth belt or anything else, no one really sees anything. No one cares. Even if it's sticking out a little bit, they might think you have a fanny pack or something. So number 2 shifting mindset for me was that my stoma doesn't define me. I define me. And the same for you. The stoma doesn't define you. Your journey defines you. All your history and how you got there defines you, and how you carry on defines you. Mind shift number 3. Connection over isolation. Now, I spent far too long trying to figure all of this stuff out on my own. Like I said, I did all the research myself. I did all the, going online. I wasn't really into ChatGPT or anything like that, especially back then. I mean, I think it was even before it. But I was doing the research, and of course, you see the worst things on when you research because you assume the worst. But yeah, I was jumping right into it on my own, and I thought of it more as a solo task to get prepared for it, and then a solo task, obviously, after. That's not the right way to do it. Joining support groups and connecting with other ostomates actually changed everything. I joined there was an online site called Colon Club, which helped me during my cancer. And I was like, there's got to be stuff like that. And of course, there's Facebook groups. You can see people on X, Discord, everywhere. There are places that you can go to rely on other people because they're all going through the same thing. Hearing everything, hearing their stories, sharing my own stories kind of makes you feel less ashamed, if that's the word, but you definitely have less regrets. You definitely have that. Um, Everybody feels the same way. You're not alone. So you feel like you're part of something, like a community. And community is actually one of the more underrated tools with mental health, and also trying to gather and figure out what you want to do, how you want to go forth. So community over isolation. I know you want to do things on your own, but again, joining a community, seeking help from others. You can reach out to me anytime. I respond to all DMs, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. Reach out to me. I can be there for you. I can lend my ear. But definitely, community over isolation is the mindset that really helped me, especially on the turning point as I was starting to get used to everything. Mind shift number 4 was my bread and butter. This is how actually I got through my cancer recovery and my treatment, and how I got through my surgery and my recovery from my surgery into living that life as an ostomate, living that bag life. And that's turning pain into purpose. That's mind shift number 4. It's turning your pain into purpose. When I first got diagnosed, I was part of a fun, cool community, and actually a show called the Movie Trivia Schmodown.
And your winner!
Don't tell Peter this, don't tell Peter that. Well, don't tell Peter I just became the IG championship.
And I played a character called the Smasher, and it was basically like wrestling meets UFC meets movie trivia. So I looked like I was a fighter or something, but I actually just answered questions about Harry Potter and Star Wars, let's be honest. But it came with a character, and my character name was the Smasher. So when I had to stop doing that show for my cancer battle,
I got diagnosed with colon cancer. I'm gonna have to step away. This is a fight, you guys. It's gonna be a fight. My doctor said I have a real good shot at it, but it's gonna be 9 months. Hell, I'm gonna fight this tooth and nail. I promise you, I'm looking at the camera. I promise I will fight this tooth and nail. One, for my daughter and my family, obviously. And I always push it out with this image, and I can draw it with 3D. I can draw it of me walking her down the aisle, and that's what I'm gonna manifest. And so
You will. Babe Ruth calling his shot.
the fans rallied around it, and they started the Smash Cancer movement. Hashtag Smash Cancer. That's why you'll see it on my channel a lot. And I realized during my treatment, because there was a lot of that during my cancer too, is the why me aspect of it. Because I know not everybody went through cancer. Some people have Crohn's or whatnot, or IBD. So for me, though, it was cancer. But I had to turn that negative into a positive. So pain into purpose means that I try to do something positive. I ended up starting that, going through that Smash Cancer movement. And the Smash Cancer movement had like graphics, and I would personally cover my entire journey. I would film myself going into the radiation. I would film myself doing chemo, and I would try to keep my spirits high. But what happened was the people around me, the community, the fans, and also my friends and family, they were able to keep apprised of how I was doing, and they also kept me going. But I was turning that pain into purpose by a way of showing that my battle is winnable. And so you can also do that, and that's what I do now. That's why I have this channel, Pain into Purpose. This has not been an easy life. It's not a picnic, I always say that, but it does get easier every day. But what also gets easier is me really focused on awareness, getting that out there. I'm actually filming this on Ostomy Awareness Day, World Ostomy Awareness Day. So a lot of people, there's a stigma about it. So instead of smashing cancer now, I'm smashing that stigma. And that is very important to me. So yeah, turning pain into purpose, that was huge for me. At some point, you just got to stop asking yourself, why me, which is the purpose of this video, and start asking, how can I use this to help other people? Helping others is what I did. And I hope that maybe you can find some happiness that way. Even sharing your experiences, even sharing my experiences gave me some of that closure that I needed to turn to the page for the next step, from cancer patient to Ostomate for life. So turning pain into purpose, I spoke a little longer on this one because it's my favorite one. And I think you all can do it. You all have it in you. I believe in you. I talk to you guys daily on TikTok and Facebook groups and all the support groups. Everybody's out there helping each other already. So maybe I'm preaching to the choir here, but for someone who hasn't, turning your pain into purpose is something that really, it was probably my number one mindset, although this fifth one coming up is the one that really helped me when I had a dark place. All right, mind shift number 5, the big one. It's kind of a fancy, dramatic name that I have for it, but it's honor it. Honor your stoma. Here's the big one. I stopped seeing my stoma as something that happened to me, and I saw it as something that happened for me. It allowed me to survive cancer and stay here on this planet Earth with my family. It allowed me to see, hopefully, my daughter grow up and I could walk her down the aisle. It allowed me to be the family man that I am. It allowed me to chase after my dreams. That is honoring and thanking the stoma. I would say thanking too, honoring and thanking it. It's not something that happened to me. It's something that happened for me. That reframe is tough, and that doesn't happen overnight. But once it clicked, that question, why me, suddenly kind of lost all of its power. It stopped being a curse, and for me kind of just felt like a blessing or a second chance at life. So the mindset shift number 5, which is short and sweet, is just to thank the stoma and honor the stoma. Your ostomy surgery, thank the surgeons that did it. Thank the care, the special care, the nurses that helped you. Thank your friends and family that helped you out. Thank everybody. Be thankful. There it is. Mind shift number 5 is be thankful. Your stoma, your ostomy, is a blessing. It's not a curse. It's something that happened for you, not to you. And it's allowing you to watch this video right now. It's allowing you to exercise all those other steps. It's going to allow you to turn pain into purpose and help other people. It's going to allow you to shift that mindset and start living your life. So what do you say? Are you with me on this one? These shifts don't just erase all the challenges, of course, but they might change how you face them. They'll kind of give you back a sense of control. They'll quiet the shame or the regret or the constant voice in your ear saying, why me, why me, why me? And they're gonna open the door for you to be yourself again. That's what you want to be. You want to be yourself. That's good for your family and for your friends and for yourself. So if you're in that dark place right now, I know what it's like. You are not alone. Just know that you're not broken. You're kind of a badass. You're like Tony Stark. You have the arc reactor on you now. Tony Stark had an arc reactor that stopped shrapnel from entering his heart. And that's what you are. You're a superhero. Instead of an arc reactor, we have a stoma. We have an ostomy. We have a bag that collects our poop. But it saves our lives every day. And whether you're at the start of the process or you're a longtime veteran, hopefully some of these mind shifts will help. I know I kind of ramble on a little bit, but sometimes it's nice to kind of just sit down and talk. So I would say just stick with this process. Try one mind shift at a time if you need to. Reach out to others, reach out to me if you need help understanding it. But also remember that question, why me, doesn't have to define you. Just like the stoma doesn't define you, why me doesn't have to define you. And it doesn't have to haunt your voice. You don't have to hear that. You don't have to hear why me anymore. You could say, why not me? I get to live. And that's when you get to write the next chapter of your story. That's how I did. So, if this helped you, please share this with someone you love or another Ostomate, or, save this and watch it when you can. Reach me anytime across any of the socials. I literally respond to everyone. I know what it's like. I've been there. So I just want to kind of pay it forward. So let's do it one more time for the folks in the back. Just know that you're not alone on this battle. Just know that you're not alone on this life. This is a journey. It's the journey of 1,000 steps. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So maybe watching this video is that first step for you. And now you can start to live the life that you were meant to live. So thanks for watching this. These are the 5 mind shifts and mindset shifts, rather. And hopefully this kind of gives you a little solace and peace. And I look forward to talking to you again.